Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well. So today I thought we'd just mix it up a little bit and do some PSU on the Wednesday stream. I did mention this last time, but basically because I am going away imminently, I didn't want to start anything that would take too long on the stream. So the next couple of streams will probably just be dipping into some Phantasy Star games, honestly. And then once I'm back, we'll get back into mixing things up a bit more. It is a very spooky stream, yeah. The other reason I thought we'd do PSU is because the event quest has changed since last time we did it, so I thought it's worth checking it out. I did do a couple of minutes of grinding just before I came on stream. I've already blown up my Yasha once. So it's going well. Swear, grinding the U+ weapons feels near impossible. Hey PK, good to see you. Alright, so let's just go to the event. So yeah, I know we did PSU fairly recently, but I thought while this Halloween event's on, maybe it's worth checking it out every so often just to see what the changes are. It's possible that Aphinia's PSO Halloween event might start soon as well. So if it starts by the weekend, we'll do that at the weekend. If not, we'll do that on the Wednesday stream before I go away. Oh, I'd already forgotten about this music. Spookiest part is that you're going to lose your Guardian's license with these questions. I have no doubt, yeah. Yeah, apparently the new quest has like quiz questions, which is funny because I don't know if there was ever a quest like that in PSU originally or if it's just a Clementine thing, but they did do a quest very similar to that in NGS. Much prefer how grinding works in PSO. Yeah, me too. PSO is still the best grinding in the series. Just use a grinder, it works. Everyone's happy. Well, I should preface that and say Aphinia PSO, because in like the Sega servers, grinders didn't stack, so you just fill your inventory with grinders. Yeah, I guess I'm just I'll just make a team, I guess. I'm interested to see what the questions are like. I know Drax said some of them are pretty easy and some of them seem near impossible. So Guardian's exam is the one with the questions. There's also Desert Rush. What is that one? So that is 2 players only. Work together with a fellow Guardian to defeat the enemies. Okay, so it's like a co-op quest. Fair enough. So this one, yeah, I've got no idea what it's going to be like. I'll just open an ultimate run and see if anyone joins it. Oh, it's the Operation Firebreak music again. This actually looks like one of the Firebreak maps, actually. Anyone who played PSU back in the day probably remembers Operation Firebreak. 2-player, thought it was 4-player. Yeah, it looks like it's 2-player only. So... I have no idea how this is going to go. What element are the mobs anyway? What are we dealing with? Boomers. In my PSU. I still forget like how creepy PSU boomers are. They don't really look like boomers at all. They also fake dead, which is very weird. All these boomers like me. All these boomers seem to not like me. Yeah, I suspect I might just die a lot in this unless anyone joins. But we'll see. Oh, these knuckle guys are really irritating because they just have no chill. Yeah, I'm almost dead already. At least on a buff like Astark's. I mean, these guys just are relentless. Hey, Juxi. Yeah, trying to solo ultimate may be a mistake. Wow. I can kill them okay, but it's just when you get a big spawn of them, kind of hard to deal with all at the same time. I'm not really sure what's going on with their debuff because I saw them do that debuff on me a few times and it didn't work. I'm going to assume there's maybe not many people on PSU at the minute. I guess it is midweek, so probably explains it. Well. Could I ask about the main combat differences between PSU and PSO? PSU was the first game to introduce photon arts. So you probably know in PSO you basically just do different variants of your attack. So you've got your normal attack, your heavy attack, and your special attack. In PSU you have photon arts as well. So you have your normal attacks like you would normally, then you also have photon arts which are like special abilities you can use, which is the one I've been doing here. You also in PSU have a first person camera, so if you have a gun equipped, like I do here, you can actually, with certain weapons in PSU, you can use single-handed weapons as well. So I can actually switch between using the saber and using the gun. Other difference is you do have a first-person camera as well if you've got a firearm, so you can actually shoot that way as well. That's probably the main differences. There's also things like racial abilities and things like that, so there is quite a lot of difference between PSO and PSU. Right, Tam got killed again. The issue is they don't really seem to care about any knockdown. The neutral enemies take extra damage from non-elemental weapons, and I think you can also use zero-element shields for more resist. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure if that's different to how the Sega server used to be. There was never that many neutral enemies, so it's kind of hard to remember. Yeah, freeze is a bit of a problem. Yeah, it is quite a big difference in the combat between PSO and PSU. I think a positive difference for the most part. I think it is one of the areas where PSU did improve. PSO's combat is, at the end of the day, quite basic. As much as I love PSO. Demon Flame, got no idea what that is, but I'll pick it up. I do like that the Clementine crew are trying to remake PS2 base game as well right now. Yeah, they're working on it. I would say probably don't expect that to actually release for a while. I don't appreciate that you can barter into this corridor. Give me back my PSO, you know, room hacks. Try stun emphasize because freeze you can at least break out of. Yeah, freeze a bit awkward. I can't actually remember in PSU if you can break out a freeze faster by mashing. I can't remember if that applies in PSU or not. I know in PSO it does. Yeah, so you know what I mentioned about the racial abilities. So this is the beast racial ability. Shoot through the walls with slices. I've seen people do that. It'd be nice if we've got something other than just hundreds of these guys. Right, let's try it. Can I shoot through the wall? Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. I think. There is some damage coming up. It is hitting through the wall, but it's just not doing much damage. So, I mean, it does work. It is very cheesy. What rank of G exam you're in? This is ultimate. It is a mistake trying to solo this. I was hoping some people might join it mid-run, but unless it's one of these quests that you can't join mid-run. It is some cheese, yeah, it is. So on their own, isolated, dodging the batter is no problem at all. But when there's about 6 of them shooting it at the same time from different directions, it becomes quite awkward. Yeah, I had no idea that slices ignored walls in PSU. Come here, Boomer. Is the combat no longer camera angle lock-on based? You can kind of, so there is a lock-on, it's just a lot harder to see. If I get close to this guy, you might be able to see it. It's really hard to make out, but there is like a little tiny red icon on this here. If I hold left bumper as well, while I'm near an enemy, I will strafe around it. So I'm essentially locked onto that enemy there. But I can also fight without being locked on. Stat bar is so tiny, how the hell did you keep track of it without a microscope? It looks worse on stream. On my actual monitor, I can read it okay. It is small. I don't think there's a whole lot you can do about it. It's just a thing with PSU where if you run it at a higher resolution, you get a really small UI. I don't know if there's a way to fix that. Not sure where you came from, but... yeah, these guys just like don't flinch really at all. They do from some attacks. But the initial ones they don't seem to flinch from much. Cast moment, exactly. Yeah, it's a good point, Dragonman. So yeah, the lock-on is more for melee, so if you use range weapons, you tend to do like a linear strafe. Man, that sucks to be you guys. UI's way bigger on Clementine right now. So is there a way to actually adjust it? I mean, I think it is bigger than it used to be, which is insane because it's still small. I just want you to come a little bit closer. Thank you. I got jump straight away. Yeah, no one is joining this, so I don't know if this is one of the quests that you can't join mid-mission. Kind of just early, I guess. Yeah. I think it's just the time, isn't it? More than anything with being midweek. Yeah, I wanted to play this today because just in case Affinia announced the Halloween event for the weekend. I don't know if they will, but won't someone think of SectionSkyly? It is possible to join mid-mission. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, it must just be because it's a bit early in midweek then. Invincibility Nanoblast doing work. Immediately gets frozen as soon as I came out of it. So I guess I'll just die then. I forgot how cursed PSU boomers look. Yeah, they are not really much of a resemblance. I could really do with like a cure freeze for this. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking with the PSU boomer design because it just doesn't really resemble PSO boomers at all. I mean, yeah, higher poly boomers, but it's just that they don't really look like them either. Okay, we are making slow progress. Please, someone with buffs join and save me. And there's a few switches over there, so I'm going to assume that's our first question. Which material is used to make single-handed striking weapons? It has been 20 years. Do floating arts and things like your transform cost anything? The transform is based on, again, it's a very small UI, but underneath the health gauge is like a 5-part gauge that fills up as I attack or take damage. And when that fills, I can use my racial ability, which is the transform. The floating art, and this is, you won't be able to see this because it's behind my camera, but each weapon has essentially like an MP gauge is probably the easiest way to think of it. So each weapon essentially has kind of MP. You can use items to charge it as well, but your floating arts cost that. It does regen over time though as well. The answer's Carlian. I'll take your word for it. It made a nice noise. I'm assuming that means it was right. Yeah, I wasn't sure on that. Oh, we're now within the ground block, I guess. Probably doesn't help that I don't really have any weapons of the elements I need for this. Oh, we have a... Yep, we have Zaylin. Thank you for saving me. But I cleared one block by myself. Answering correctly on this quest only gives more reward boxes to break at the end, so it's more just for the chances that they drop the table for them. Okay. All the weapons are dark. The transformation looks cool, yeah. The really cool thing as well is it actually differs for male and female beasts. Male beasts transform into this like big huge buff thing. PSU boomers look like they've become the Witchwood Alice Hobgoblin. We've also got not Hildebars. It's legally distinct Hildebar. Jesus, those the gunners at the back are lethal. Tell you what, let's take care of those first. Yeah, those gunner guys do like 2,000 damage a shot. And they combo, by the way. They may be the most dangerous enemy in the entire PSU. Oh, we have three. We have someone with a fantastic name, which is Shooter McShoot'em. Get the guns first, you can have the twin handgun ones next. Oof. I do like in this event that the quest is changing quite often. Keeps it quite fresh, I think. Although Shooter McShoot'em appears to be using twin sabers. I feel that's misadvertising that. Definitely does get a bit easier once you got a couple of people. Yeah, ultimate difficulty is pretty rough. So tempted to download PSU now. It's a fun game, man. Like, I know it wasn't liked a lot at the time, but it's aged pretty well, honestly. Yeah, the only good thing is I've got at least got the right line shield element. That's it. I think hunters with mech guns don't get to judge shooters' blades. Fair enough. Probably leveling Acrofighter, Wartech, or a Fire Gun it, yeah. Only got to play Ambition of the Illuminist when it was on PS2 and never online. Yeah, I played it online more or less from the day it was live. I enjoyed my time with it, honestly. I've never liked it as much as PSO, but I think a lot of that is nostalgia. I mean, yeah, I've got nostalgia for this as well, but more so for PSO. God, more of these guys. The only good thing is at least I don't have that much health. Did play PSP1 and PSP2. Yeah, PSP2 is a really good game. I think PSP1's story is good. The actual game itself kind of feels like a bit like a watered down PSU, but it's still decent. Oh god, there's another question there. Jeez. You spend more than like half a second in front of the shooter guys and you just get disintegrated. Slightly annoying thing is that if I die, I lose my nanoblast, so... Try playing NGS over the weekend. In 7 months, no new story. There is the side stories that I've added recently. I know it's not a full story episode, but they did add those fairly recently. The last one I did was actually fairly interesting. But yeah, it would be nice to get a full story episode for sure. The Lion Shield Surface Ember gives how much attack and technique? I don't know. I have no clue. Yeah, just press 1. We're going for 25. Oh. Exactly, who remembers that? Unless you've got a Seraphis Ember. Yeah, some of these questions are brutal. Because this is what, light, is it? Yeah. Hey, we've actually got the right element for once. The enemies are so fast. It's actually ridiculous. The aspect of PSU has been the PA leveling. You get the ability and use it to make it better, which felt better than having to hunt for or bank discs for Twinking of Force. I would agree to an extent. I never liked buff leveling in PSU though. Like leveling up Rester and all of the buffs was just mind-numbingly boring. Yeah, join us, Jockey. Yeah, it's pretty good. The good thing about PSU at the minute as well, Jokey, is it's actually quite friendly for new players now. So there are these things called level up quests, which are basically designed to get you through the levels. So I seem to remember that these guys, the Giga Boomers, it's Giga Boomer, but okay. I seem to remember that they were rare enemies in PSU on the Sega server. Also, we got Ash's Soul, so rip Ash, I guess. Yeah, the buff leveling. So the buff leveling in PSU, people used to make buff parties where you would just all stand around like a recharge cube and just spam buffs. Because the buffs leveled up faster if they affected multiple people in one cast. Yeah, it was basically a circle jerk, yeah. Everyone just like crowded around the photon charge crystal and just spam buffs for a few hours. At least the other PAs, like, you know, the attack PAs, at least they're level up by actually using them. Yeah, you're going to use them anyway. I think it depends, Pika. I think it depends on the PA. Because some PAs will have a really good first part. And if that's the case... Oh, I didn't even see what the question was. They just answered it immediately. I think some PAs, if they've got a good first part... then it's not too bad, because you can rely on that. But if the first part is terrible, then it is a struggle. Yeah, it's the same for most attacks, Richard. Pretty much every attack tech gets like ridiculous as it levels. If I don't buff, no one will. The moment I join, every aqua attacker in the server joins. Yeah, so that's the male-based transformation. Did you almost die immediately upon transforming? I use the baby mode based transformation that makes me invincible. It is fully in Kurtz, it is. It was fully in Kurtz. Aqua Fighter 27, nice. Anything of use? Not really. Material ticket? I mean, I'll take it. I have no idea what it's for, but okay. Materials, I would imagine. I guess it's lore accurate because you kind of meet him after the exam in Parent, yeah. Honestly, man, it's been so long since I played the story of PSU, it's kind of hard to remember. Right, I do need all the trimates. Maybe it's an early match. Yeah, I guess I could actually. Ah, do I have to do it when they're not equipped? That's kind of annoying. Alright, let's try that one. Fireground and dark, yeah, I think so. Where is it actually in? What section is it in? I thought it was in GC, but it's grayed out. Or is it only U plus weapons? Because some Maggie is just U. Yeah, the Shuriken was unequipped, but it's a U weapon, so that's probably why, I'm guessing. It's fine. I'll unlock it as well, fair enough. I'll do it next run. I don't want to hold people up too long. I thought the gear coming from a bunch of different manufacturers with slightly different stats for similar gear was a nice touch. Yeah, it kind of showed like what they specialised in. So it was ice first, wasn't it, I think? Kabara specialises in meme weaponry. Yeah, that was so much faster. Weapon manufacturers in PSU inspired Borderlands, I mean, maybe. It was quite cool though, because you know, typically your Yoma weapons from New Days would typically have more PP than other classes, I think. Now, I think the Tenor ones from Motu would tend to be stronger, but would have less PP usually. I do kind of feel this is probably a better Halloween event overall than the typical PSL ones, though. We need Zeomantic for law keeping on the quiz questions. There's one quest left next Sunday. I assume that's the real Halloween quest. This is also the anniversary event. Okay, so they're sort of tied the two together. Fused a mini event they had last year into this one. I usually can't fault Phantasy Star on the music, but this track started to wear thin when I originally played. Imagine, I mean, you might have heard it if you played on the original Sega servers, but yeah, during Operation Firebreak, you basically just heard this music for a few weeks solid. Contamination Dark is way more annoying. Yeah. I don't mind Contamination Ice. You had this track all over Operation Firebreak, so you're not kidding about it getting old yet. Spoken like someone who was there for Firebreak. I mean, Firebreak was a fun event, but yeah, this music for a few weeks solid. It's not like it's a bad track necessarily. It was something about Fire Gunner. I think it was what weapon class can Fire Gunner not use, which fairly easy. Yeah, we will never lie down and die. It gets frozen in one shot in ultimate. It does look like Nug, yeah. Yeah, I think it is Nug Jack. It looks like it. Yeah, Twin Heaven Strike is kind of hilarious. You thought Striker was OP in Blue Burst, try 2 now. I'm still not sure if Heaven Striker and Heaven Punisher are great in this. I mean, I don't have U+1s, but it seemed quite awkward to hit with reliably because of the way they shoot. I do like how pretty much everything disrupts Trimate. It does make things a bit easier. Yeah, the way they shoot is super weird. I get it's meant to be Divine Punishment. But just like judging the range on it's quite hard, I think. I probably need to start carrying Magistar Rides, honestly, if I'm in a party without any buffs. It would probably help. I was running Beast Gun Tekka during that time. Rest a heal with the power of a Monomate, which was hilariously good for leveling it. Don't forget to use AP, it's easy to hit max 100. Yeah, I know when I played the Sega server I used some like, weird class combinations, so I know I used... For quite a while I used a Newman Forty Fighter, because I refused to not play Hunuel. I did Wartecker as well, obviously, but... Yeah, Newman Forty Fighter was fun. Consider using the XP boosters. How do you actually get the XP boosters? Because I seem to get them now and again, but I'm not really sure where I get them. Also, that banner there just reminded me of that. I noticed that you got a banner on PSU recently, Drac. From dailies or weeklies, but you can buy boards for them in Guardian's Hub. Ah, fair enough. I use ult tokens to craft them. I was going to ask you at some point about what you use ultimate tokens for, because I seem to have a lot of them. I like how no one noticed the warp point there. Everyone went to just run out the room again. How many silver coins does a chainsword C cost? I have no idea. That much, apparently. Yeah, the questions in this are... I feel you would have to have a very innate knowledge of Clementine specifically. I should run this on a low difficulty at some point just so I can actually see the questions. See what kind of stuff it asks. I do like the idea of trivia in the middle of the quest, though. I know when they did it in NGS, that was quite fun as well. I think in the NGS one, most of the questions were fairly easy, but there was a couple that were the kind of questions where you just look at them and just think, who would know that? Funny enough, Kurt feels like the easiest thing in the entire quest. Was FG or FI short for Fire Gunner? Can't remember now. It's been so long. It confused me a bit because obviously FI is short for Fighter in PSR 2 and NGS as well. I want to say maybe it was FG, or could be wrong.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's...
Yeah, this song doesn't really get any better, does it? Yeah, I suppose FG could be fought at Gunner as well, couldn't it? Yeah, maybe Fire Gunner was FI then. Someone buying a Happy Rapid Parasol for 200 gold bars with full grind. I've got one, but not a full grind. Also, thank you for the follow, Mutant Defense 2. Yeah, not gonna lie, this music is gonna get a bit old. I'll just keep running this, so if anyone wants to jump in, just feel free to drop in or out. You just read it as Fighter for FG. Yeah, I honestly can't remember what Fire Gunner's abbreviation was now. That just hit me for like 4,000 damage. I was not expecting it to do that much damage. I thought those fire traps typically never do anything. So I thought I'd just face tank it and run past. I was not the player. Anti-hardcore measure detected. Yeah, pretty much. A good run on this shouldn't take more than 15 minutes overall. The issue is my gear is, I have some decent gear. Most of it has been given to me. But it is me playing. And that is like an automatic debuff, basically. I'm trying what class I played the most in PSU back on the Sega servers. I did play a lot of Beast Fighter as well. I think I played quite a lot of Cast Gunmaster as well. And I think I also had a Newman Master Force. Really like this track more than the one playing in the lobby. Some tunes do get old. Yeah, that's the thing. I like the track. I don't think it's a bad music track necessarily. It just, when you're hearing it over and over again, it gets a bit old. Also, Hydrock. Hey, bit as well. Good to see you. 1.5 gigabytes down. I swear I should have done this at home. Never the player, those things are tool to do at least 2/3 of your HP on this quest. I think it's just because I played the Sega server so much, I'm just used to those fire traps just really not doing much damage. Also, can we just point out that build of air gave over 200,000 experience? Phantasy Star Tabletop RPG came out this month. Copy arrived yesterday. Oh, nice one. You have to let us know how it is. Yeah, I don't really play D&D or anything similar to it, so I probably would have no idea how it works, but I'm kind of glad it got a TTRPG. Got the ebooks already, but the physical copy is shipping to you by the 27th. Ah, cool. I think some of the artwork in it is interesting. Some of it is really, really good. Some of it looks a little bit questionable. But I'm interested to see like, how well it actually plays and everything. Just I probably won't be playing it myself because I know next to nothing about TTRPGs, so that was what quest do you have to S rank to get Edel Elim? I don't know what Edel Elim is. I know Edel Arrow. It's currently number 2 on Draft for RPG for the second week running, so people are buying it. Ah, good. Hopefully as well. Hopefully it raises a bit more awareness of Phantasy Star. Because I imagine there's probably a lot of people who have bought it who maybe don't know what the franchise is and are just interested in it because it's a TTRPG. So, if it helps to raise awareness of the franchise, then that can only be a good thing. Yeah, TTRPGs are one of those things where I've always sort of been interested in them, but never really had like sort of a reliable group to do one with, or the ability to really learn them. So I just feel like you don't want to be that guy in the group who doesn't know how to play the game. That everyone has to explain everything to over and over again. Fundamentally similar to D&D, but there are some differences in character creation and development, which threw off a lot of players who are familiar with D&D. Okay. Oh, I got a gold U plus. It's the only game I'm going to get a gold in because it doesn't exist in PSO. Is it male only? No. There we go. Very nice. I do happen to know that Sangayasha apparently drops in this quest as well. So if the game wants to give me a Sangayasha, I'm all for it. I think it's those Sinnoh guys that drop it. Currently working your way through the rule book and it seems pretty solid so far. Do know that a lot was omitted to a specific page count. Okay. And one thing I did like from, because I saw a little bit of a review of the book for it, I did like that it kind of goes through a lot of the lore and everything of the classic games. I thought that was pretty cool. You heard the dog whistle. And we've got a twin handgun gift box. Wouldn't it be funny if that was Gold Miller? Yeah, sorry, Nemus. I know it's not in PSO. If it was PSO, I'd be the first person I'd just give you that. See, now that I'm here, we have an acro tagger. That's how it always works. The same in NGS as well. Anytime, so when I play with my friend on NGS, anytime he uses his ranger, we have loads of rangers in the party. Anytime he doesn't use ranger, we have none. I'm probably going to save cut content for another book if Sega allows Skydive to print another one. For me, I think it was just so out of left field, just suddenly getting a classic Phantasy Star TTRPG. Again, I'm not against it by any means, but it was just very weird. Thinking about PSU and PSO2 for the next one. I kind of feel you could probably do a TTRPG just for PSO2 because the amount of stuff that's in that game is ridiculous. Just eat another one of those fireballs, why not? We clearly learned nothing from last time. But interesting, so for regarding Phantasy Star developments, the latest YouTube page for the next NGS headline's just gone up, and in the description for it, it mentions in that the next headline is going to obviously show the November content for NGS, but it's also going to apparently preview what they describe as a colossal boss for December, which happens to coincide with the PSO 25th anniversary, and we know that they are doing some kind of collaboration with PSO. So I have a suspicion that we're going to get a PSO boss in NGS, which I would guess is going to be either Dark Falls or Overflow. Yeah, can you imagine if they just threw that curveball and it was just Big Vada instead? I would like it to be PSO Falls, but I kind of feel that out of that and Overflow, I think Overflow's a lot more likely. Just because they've got monsters with similar skeletons to Overflow in the game already. So I feel it would be a lot less work for them to do that. It would be really, really underwhelming if it was the dragon. Or as I thought yesterday, I think I would actually be mad if this happened. If they just give us Durol Lair. Because we've already got an enemy called Renus Rotem in NGS, which is a big worm. I hope they just don't turn Big Worm into Durol Lair. Actually, yeah, they could make it into one of the big worms from 4, like Sam Million. I think it's unlikely. I think Olga Floor or Falls is the most likely. Irony is that the final boss of PSO is just a giant monist. I mean, yeah, kind of. You never know, could be Dark Phallus. Need to make yourself some shortcuts to change Lion Shield with. They're really, really useful. I would really recommend it. Obviously, PSU doesn't really have a quick way of changing Lion Shields, unlike PSP2. So I think chat shortcuts are probably one of the best ways of doing it. It could all just be a massive rapper, yeah, that is either option. You know, it could be the King Rappy from Phantasy Star 4. I think it's very unlikely, but, you know. Skydon are currently in discussion with Sega regarding post-PSO game licensing. Oh, cool. Make it so big so that you can't even see its head no matter if you hit the height distance. I mean, there was a quest in NGS not so long back that had massive rappies. We're talking like kaiju size rappies. I think we are getting rappies of some description because on the roadmap there was a silhouette of a rag rappy. But I think it just seems odd to me that they're teasing this colossal boss for December, which is the PSO 25th anniversary. I mean, it could just be another NGS boss, you know, but it lines up well. Oh, you just got a gold as well. Nice. Can we put 2 golds together and just have gold? If you think about it, really, that is one really stupid thing with PSO, isn't it? Like the whole item combination thing. If you think about it, it just doesn't really make any sense. So you find Handgun Gold, you find Handgun Miller as separate guns. And you're telling me that the player who gets them doesn't think, hey, I could use both these at the same time. I never really thought about that until now. It's very weird. I know from like a game standpoint there's a reason why it has to be like that, but it is very weird still. Well, this beast just apparently knows the answers to everything. Gold plus gold equals solid gold. I mean, there is no logical reason why you shouldn't just be able to have a gold in each hand. Ruby Bullet, Ruby Duelet. I think there is a twin Ruby Bullet in PSU, actually. Like there is with most of the guns, to be fair. It does kind of annoy me in PSU that the Twin Heaven Punisher is called Twin Heaven Punisher and that they didn't just make Mil Mator. Tsumakiri Hiyori base Twin Saber. Yeah, Tsumakiri Hiyori, that's Chizuru's weapon, isn't it? From PSP 2. Well, one of them anyway. Yeah, Kurtz just gets deleted. Oh, someone in our party got a banner. Congratulations. Not me, obviously.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere.
They must not have wanted to be associated with France.
Probably seems crazy. A graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Ask him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkin in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but they sure try to get me.
Right, we are trying for a Sangayasha. I'll just pretend I'm being useful. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see though if they do actually go and make more TTRPGs for the later games. It'd be cool to see. Right, let's try and not get face planted this time. I feel like dealing with the old days of dial-up right now. Now I can't escape the Desorians all sound like they have a Dutch accent, isn't that weird? That was certainly a decision they made in Phantasy Star, yeah. Yeah, just so people know as well, there will be a video going live on Tuesday for non-members, which will be my sort of impressions of Phantasy Star 4. If you're a YouTube member, it went live a couple of days ago. By which I mean yesterday. Yeah, that'll be going live to everyone else next week. Again, just while here as well, just to reiterate, while I'm away, there will be obviously no streams or anything. I'm going to try and do around one YouTube video to go live while I'm away. So you should have at least one video while I'm gone. And I'm aiming to, once I'm back from Japan, I'm aiming to do a return stream on probably about the 19th, I think it is. 19th of November. So basically from the 1st to the 19th, there'll be nothing. Or 1st to the 18th. Still makes me mad that I can't do reruns very easily on Twitch. I wish there was an option to just be able to upload a VOD and just have that VOD run at a certain time on Twitch. But for some reason they make it so you have to manually start the stream, even for a rerun. Which is just not particularly useful when I'm halfway around the world. I like her videos even if it says I can't currently view them. Yeah, so for the members videos, I tend to give usually about a week like exclusivity to members, just as like a little thank you really for the membership. It's not always a week, but usually about a week. He's abandoning us. No, I'm having what's called a holiday. Yeah, as I said, I am hoping to do some like pictures and things for you guys as well, so you can see what I've been up to. So there might still be things like community posts, because I can still do those from the app as far as I'm aware. Oh, level 198. Oh, nice. Yeah, somehow I'm level 192. I don't know how that's happened, but I'm here. Yeah, and again, the plan is that once I'm back, The Wednesday streams for a while will probably be Front Mission 3, just because I think that game is going to take a while to get through. Sundays, I'm probably going to try and keep as Phantasy Star for the most part. Oh, we got Gigaboomer Claw U+. Amazing. Oh, sorry, Gigaboomer Claw. I hold it next week. Unfortunately, it won't be going to Japan. Yeah, I mean, typically, I don't go abroad very often. Last time I went abroad was, well, 2016 when I went to Japan last time. Did I finish the Diablo games? Diablo 4 I didn't play anymore after the streams. I thought it was okay, but it just never really hooked me that much. And Diablo 2, I have played the original several times, and as good as Remastered is, I'm kind of fine for now. What OST does PSU Disc 11 play? I don't know. Yeah, Front Mission 3 is a fairly long game. There is like 2 full stories to do on it as well. I'll do one of them to begin with, and if people are enjoying it, I'll do the second one. Hope you have a better holiday in Japan than my friend a couple of months ago. She, a big weeb, took her mother very much nuts, so had to be a tour guide for someone who didn't want to do stuff. Oof. Yeah, thankfully, in that regard, I'm going on my own, so I can do whatever I want. Come on, any Ubers? Are we gonna get anything good? No, not particularly. It's probably for the best, as I'll be filling my return bag with Phantasy Star goodies till I run out of cash. Yeah, that is the slight issue, is that the PSO pop-up shop, the last day of it is on the day after I land in Japan. I am somewhat worried how much money I'm going to spend there. Just while we touch on that as well, I mentioned it in a community post recently, but I am currently doing a Google form to get ideas for, well, feedback for a new video that's going to go live in December. So that Google form, it is linked on the community post. I've also linked it on X, Bluesky, and on my Discord as well. Anyone who fills that out, if you agree to it, then you can enter a prize draw for some Phantasy Star merch, which is going to be basically whatever I can get my hands on at the PSO shop in Japan. So yeah, if you are interested in potential Phantasy Star merch, then feel free to fill that in. Yeah, I will say some of the merch they've got is a bit weird. So they have noodle stoppers in the shape of Dark Falls. You can also use it as in like an acrylic stand as well, but it is functionally a noodle stopper. There's also, they've got a PSO, like a Rappy t-shirt. And the slogan on it is like the most English thing I've ever seen. It doesn't really make any sense. It says something like, it just says Rappy, and then in those days. I've got no idea what... Is it meant to be saying like, this is what a Rappy was back then? It's just, it's very oddly phrased. I kind of like that. Makes zero sense whatsoever. Yeah, there's some nice stuff though. There is things like section ID badges. I don't know how they compare to the ones that were done by Limited Run. Ah, someone just found out about the fire traps. Not me this time. Because I know Limited Run obviously did the PSO merch as well, which I have bought quite a lot of. I'm just waiting for that to ship. I think these badges that they're doing in Japan are different though. I kind of think it would just be on brand to get a Skylight badge, but it depends on what they've got left. I mean, it's the last day of the shop when I go to it, so I'm kind of expecting there to be not a whole lot left. Kind of funny in this, the enemies are really difficult solo, but when you've got a few other people, they just disintegrate. Merch is always up and down when it comes to Phantasy Star, especially post PSO2. Yeah, NGS has surprisingly little in the way merch. A lot of the NGS merch honestly seems to be things like stationery. So things like, you know, clear files. I mean, I know clear files are really popular in Japan. You know, pretty much everything gets them. But a lot of things like that, there's nothing in the way of figures or statues. Could just be that they can't really justify the cost of doing them. So I think that was what can Fi gonna not use at S rank? Was it what I think it is? No, I would have got that wrong. I would have said Twin Sabers, but no. Twin Sabers is S rank. NGS marketed itself more in the digital direction than the physical one. Yeah. Hi, miss. Good to see you. Yeah, the experience from those builds of theirs is insane. Like nearly 200,000 experience. Yeah, and PSO2 merch is very weird because for PSO2 merch, I would say at least 90% of it is for PSO2 ES merch. And more specifically, 90% of that is figures of Jean. Which, I mean, I get why. You know, they certainly know what corner of the market they are targeting. Yeah, I am interested though for the next NGS headline to see if anything else is going to get announced for the PSO collab. I was also thinking as well, the Game Awards I think are in December as well, so there is a very outside shot, maybe something there, but I think it's unlikely at this point. But you know, there is a chance. Again, we know that the team that's been working on PSO2 and NGS is recruiting for another game, another large-scale online game, but whether that is Phantasy Star, no idea. ES merch seems to be the fanboys. Yeah, the ES merch, like I say, is mostly figures of, well, statues of Jean. And again, you know, I totally get why. But yeah, I do feel if we're going to get something, I kind of feel our biggest chance was probably maybe Tokyo Game Show, but obviously that passed without anything. So maybe I'm coping at this point. I do wonder partially if the existence of private servers kind of puts Sega off from doing anything with PSO. I mean, I know they could probably just shut the private servers down if they wanted to. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's maybe one reason why we haven't heard anything. I guess we've got a little bit of time until the anniversary, so there's still time for something. If the Game Awards has anything for Phantasy Star coming, we'll find out at some point, but I don't think it'll be that soon for any kind of announcement. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I mean, we know they are working on something. Because there has been, for anyone who didn't see, there has been job advertisements up from the team that makes PSO and PSO 2 and NGS for a large-scale online game. They were recruiting for I think it was for a lead animator. So going by that, it's clear that whatever it is still probably very early. Because if you're recruiting for a lead animator, that means that I would assume none of the animation has really been done. But the thing is, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know for sure if it is Phantasy Star, because we also know that Sega are working on that new Crazy Taxi. And I think the new Crazy Taxi is also meant to be like online, so it could potentially be for that. And really, there's a few games that Sega have mentioned before that we haven't heard much on recently. You know, we know they were meant to be working on like a new Golden Axe, potentially another Streets of Rage. It was like revitalizing all the old franchises. I mean, I say that Streets of Rage doesn't particularly need it because obviously we have Streets of Rage 4. But games like Golden Axe, yeah. Let's hope Sega can handle Unreal Engine 5 or the backpedal to Sega again. I think... So I recently played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and I'm sure someone said that runs on Unreal Engine 4. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but... Yeah, they did do Shinobi as well. I think Shinobi got reviewed pretty well, didn't it? I never tried it myself. Oh, there's a weapon. Sword gift box, we take those. Oh, you got one as well? Could be an SJS, it could be. Yeah, missed it's funny, earlier in this stream, we got a Hang on Gold on PSU. That banner that just came across the middle of the screen then when I ended the quest, that banner just said Twin Sabers. I don't know why it said that. Gonna roll the loot boxes and spend AP. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. It's been there from Sunday, okay. It just says twin sabers.
Asked him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkin in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but they sure tried to get me. Had to back 'em up with a fist metal crackle. I'm hearing someone saying you a chicken, don't be scared. It had to be the wing.
Alright, let's go and see what these are.
I searched and I searched as I climbed up the wall. And then I started to fly. I went in deeper. Let it get to me.
You got Flamberge U+, nice. See what I get. Alright, let's do the twin handguns first. Dual Bird U+. So not a Gold Miller, but Gold Miller adjacent. And Sword Gift Box. I get to a Replica U+, so again, CLJ Sword adjacent. At least the U+ version is actually reasonably strong to begin with. It's kind of a shame I can't use S-rank twin handguns. I might have to level a class that can now. I should also, while I think on, probably lock that gold. Okay, I have 100 AP. That happened fast. Okay, so is there anything I want? I'm just looking through to see what might be useful. How much customizing are you willing to buy with that? I mean, it's a lot. You seem to get AP really fast doing this. Gives a low chance to pierce enemy defense and MST by 50%. That's very weird. Keep failing grind at 3 to 4. That's exactly where I failed on Yasha. Yeah. You can keep earning AP as long as it's not at 100. Okay. Yeah, I had super and ultra grinders, yeah. I mean, some of these abilities don't really seem that useful. Like decreasing technique damage by 60. When I'm taking like 1,000, that doesn't seem like it's going to help too much. Nullifies damage that is less than 2% of your max HP. Not bad, but it's probably not going to proc an ultimate. Fakis Curse reduces your base stamina but adds 1,000 HP. I mean, 1,000 HP is nice. Depends how much it reduces your stamina by, though. It doesn't say. Yeah, competent pharmacist doesn't seem too bad. Increased effectiveness of recovery items by 50%. Having said that, we do use trimates a lot. The flats are more useful in early difficulties, but not ultimate, yeah. Enhance your presence to provoke enemy attacks, no thanks. Yeah, I was just looking, Drac, just to see what there is. Removes your Lion Shield's Photon Glow. Cool. So what do I actually have? I have Wild Blast and Avenge. So boost attack power by 20% while allies are incapacitated. That's weird. And increase Nanoblast duration by 30%. I mean, that's really good. So remove the guard animation, but take 50% of incoming damage. That's the main reason I used it, Dragon Man, yeah. Because the main issue with the invincibility badge is the duration on it. It was really nice just to get the extra duration. Yeah, quick guard sounds interesting. Removes the guard animation, but take 50% of incoming damage. On Acro classes, it's bad since you're lying, you're evade. Yeah, so when it's talking about the guard, is it like the automatic guard that you do from your evade? Is that what it's referring to? Because yeah, if that's the case, then that is bad for Acro. Increase maximum PA cap for sabers by 2 per level. And we don't have it, I mean, sure. I'm using sabers a lot, so... increase element of sabers by 3. That's not bad. I use dagger quite a lot as well. Yeah, I will say this is one cool thing about PSU that I didn't really get to experiment much with when I used to play. I do like how much like customization there is for your character class. Should probably do Slicer as well, actually, because we do use Slicer quite a bit. Could do handgun, but honestly, I only bust out a handgun now and again. Yeah, it's weird, Dragon Man, because like, so I don't remember gas or anything like that in the Western version at all. I've had quite a few people in chat who've said that they remember it in the Western version, but I played from the minute PSU launched until when the servers went down, and I do not remember it in the Western version. So it's a bit weird that there seems to be a lot of people who remember it. You hit your hotspot limit and got throttled to dial-up speeds. Oh, hopefully it doesn't take you too long. Okay, so these are just stat boosts while using single-handed weapons. Might have been in very late in the Xbox 360 days. Boost base attack power and TP of right-hand weapons by 2% per level. I mean, it's not much AP. I use right-handed weapons a lot. Sure. Yeah, we got down to 36 AP, so that'll do for now. Gas was definitely introduced after the PS2 and PC service for Western McClaws. I'm so glad someone agrees with me. One-handed block's also nice, okay. Boosted it by 150. It goes to level 1, but it's another 150 evade. It's a bit more block chance. More evade on acro classes equals take. Okay, I guess I can go back to the event lobby. Last event the service had was the 1-Up Cup. Yeah, I definitely remember the 1-Up Cup.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get.
I can't see the quest filling instantly, so I'll just put the quest up, and if you want to join, feel free to join. You're playing on 360 servers. I never used gas, but I do remember reading about it on PCpedia. Yeah, so I played on PC, so that makes sense then. Actually, before I start as well, let's finally get the right elements sorted. So Yash is fine.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at
Could use that actually.
You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down the Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere.
And let's also do.
This probably seems crazy, graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Asked him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkin in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but
Now it's in. It'll take 6 hours to download. I'm so sorry. Okay, change elements. So we've got dark. I could probably do with a lightning weapon. Sure. Like how it's like, this transaction is permanent, are you sure? Costs 1 GC, I have 7,900. I think that's okay. I swear that noise is so traumatic. I know there's an option to turn it off now, but... I'm gonna change Fumi Shuriken to... I guess we need a fire weapon as well. Just assumed it was on the 360 server, so like I said last time, don't quote me on that. Yeah, I need to get out of the U weapons I've got. I mean, I have been getting a few U plus from drops at least, which is helping. Let's go with, yeah, cheeky car engine on that. Yeah, there we go. It was probably because the gas counter was just in a specific spot on Claire's, but that room was never open on the period before the official close on PCPST outside of Japan. Yeah, I remember on the guidance colony there was always one room that was just closed and never opened. So I guess that's what it was. Okay, game's up. It's weird, isn't it, that I have to go into the gate? But if there's multiple people, you can start fine. I guess that's kind of the trigger that lets people know that the game's open. Alright, should be a bit better now that I actually have the right elements. That's when the quest actually starts, okay. I remember on the Sega servers just spamming this PA a lot with Acro Fighter. Got a Unity Will U Plus, whatever that is. Double Saber, I think it was. Oh, he's got refroze instantly. Yeah, Chikikyo engine, yeah. Yeah, back on the Sega servers, it used to get spammed a lot. I think I have all the OG pages of PSUpedia saved on a hard drive on PC. Yeah, PSUpedia was really useful back in the day. Yeah, there wasn't that many slicer PAs, at least on the PCPS2 version. I think there was Chikikyo engine. I think, was it Choto Kansujin, I think it's called? There was maybe one or two others, but I remember there wasn't that many. Because Clementine does have quite a few. Which again is a good thing, you know. Still only 3 PS for Slicer. Yeah, I've got those 3 at the minute. I think one of them... I think there might be one more in one of the exchange shops, possibly. It's been a while, though. But yeah, there's only 3, maybe 4 at the most. Yeah, Slicer was a really broken weapon when it released. Yeah, I will say I do wish that the Fortinats were balanced a little bit better in PSU. It does kind of feel with a lot of the weapons that there is typically one Fortinat that seems to be better. Vice Lily U+. Cool. That is a partisan or spear. Remission Forest of Illusion is started on what planet? Mortube, I think? Oh, I would have said Mortube. I think it's Mortube for Forest of Illusion. Guardian's license revoked. It is Mortube, okay. I don't know how I remember that. Ruins is Clyers, Mines is Param, and Caves is New Days, okay. Yeah, so I could remember that Ruins was Guardian's Colony. So Scorpio's saying Forest of Illusion was New Days, but Draken just picked New Days and it was wrong. I'm sure it was Mortube. The only reason I say that is because on PSU I used to run Mortube quite a lot. These sniper guys really suck. I think it's cool that the rare missions are PSO maps. I'm not sure they translate that well into PSU, but it's cool to see them. Yeah, the rifle ones are really bad. They're not bad if they fire one shot, but occasionally they'll fire like a salvo of shots at you. And if one hits you, you get knocked down. And then the other shots just hit you while you're down. Is it unfair? Yes. Does the game care? No. Yeah, that's the thing, Scorpio, so I know thematically it makes no sense that Forest would be on Mortube, but it was. I mean, I'm sure the game said that the rare missions were like, I'm sure it's meant for like a dimensional rift or something. So I guess it doesn't matter too much where they appear. But yeah, Forest of Illusion was from Mortube. Yeah, good point. Actually, yeah, there is a jungle area on Mortube. It's not in PSU. It's yeah, like Dragonman said, it's in PSP2, but there is a jungle part of Mortube. Yeah, 8-bit saying it was Mortube as well. Yeah, it was the rare mission, wasn't it? Like all the PSO maps. Yes, I think these guys are designed so that if one of the shots hits you, then they just fire the salvo at you while you're down. It's really nasty. I mean, I do have really high evades, that does help, but they are still level, 200. So yeah, for Sunday's stream, I haven't decided entirely what we're going to play yet. It's going to depend on whether Affinia announce their Halloween event for PSO. If they do, then I'll probably do PSO, but if they don't, we'll play something else. Ult rank got me wondering if Vader's even worth anything at that point. I've not seen much in the way of blocks. I mean, it helps to an extent. How many Mort Walnut is required to synthesize a Shiga Pakuda? So that is the 12-star shotgun. I have no idea. Counter's really strong in this game. Oh, nice one, Drac. I mean, how would you know that? Unless you've just synthesized one. Affinia isn't running Halloween events. They should be, it just hasn't started yet. I think from previous years, the Affinia event normally starts about a week before Halloween and runs until about a week after. Didn't know it was just RNG. Yeah, I kind of feel you'd have to be like extremely invested in PSU to know something that specific. Seems a bit late. Yeah, I think it's how they've always done it. Because the Halloween event on Affinia is a fairly minor one. There's a lot of questions I feel like you need a wiki to answer if you don't have them in memory. Yeah. You know, I play PSU a lot. I can remember a lot about it, but if you're asking me how many of a specific item I need for a specific item in the game, I'm not going to have a clue. PSU is your jam. Yeah, it surprised me. A lot of people seem to really like PSU. I think quite a few people, it's their favourite one. Which again is not something I would have expected back in the day. To be fair, me neither. I do find it really interesting with PSU how it's kind of redeemed itself over the years. Like, now when people play it, they have a lot of fondness for it. It was very much not the case back then. Yeah, it's really weird, that Dragman, isn't it? I think for the 360, a lot of the player base for PSU there was just people hanging out in the demo. In episode 2, which chapter is Shadow Conspiracy? So all you guys who've just played, you know, PSU episode 2 story. Yeah, I have no idea. PSU wiki game confirmed. Yeah, I have no idea what chapter it was. Go for chapter 4. Yeah, I feel Ep 2 was quite short. And if you're building the conspiracy up, there needs to be a bit more after it. So I would probably go for 4, but I have no idea. Part of me wants to say 5. Go for 4 if you want. See how wrong we are. Well, I'm going to commit to it. Do a chat poll for every area. So apparently it's chapter 4. No, I did not know that. Guardian's license reinstated. We're back. I like how we actually use logic to work that out as well. That part was earlier than I thought. I can barely remember PSU Story. It's been so long since I've done it. I legitimately haven't done PSU Story in probably in 20 years. Pretty much. Since Sega servers. Yeah, if they asked me stuff about PSO Story, I'd have more of a chance. Remember the Shadow Conspiracy was when you meet Ethan and discuss the Illuminous a bit when he talks about the Sochi. See, I barely remember that. I remember Ethan with his like edgelord coat, and that's about it. I really don't remember much at all about PSU Story. I remember bits and pieces here and there, but just because it's been so long since I did it. Oh, the cult was then too. Knuckle gift box, we'll take those. It's kind of crazy how little I remember about PSC Story, honestly. You see that Beast Women are the best now, say it 100 more times. I do kind of remember that. Yeah, that was just like awakened the memory. I do remember that. I mean, they're not wrong. They need to bring back Beasts. It's been too many games without them. Newman Women are the best, just saying. Oh, yeah, I think we've got time for at least another one, maybe two. They should bring them back in the NGS. I'd love to see Beast come back again. Ethan Weber playthrough when the thing is Void Money. I mean, they did add the face style for Beast at NGS. I can't remember how you got it now. I remember it was quite awkward to get. They did add it. I can't remember if it was an NGS spec though, or if it was PSO2 spec. But yeah, I would like to see Beast come back again. A really cool idea. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I suppose an Easter egg is probably the nearest thing to call it. I think the issue is with NGS now, it'd be really hard to add like new races to it because you're either going to have to kind of walk them down so they're all the same. Because I feel that the way everything is in NGS at the minute is very defined. You know, every character has their photon blasts, the EX styles, the Mars. I kind of feel if you then just gave a race that could transform, there would have to be some big drawback somewhere to justify it. Yeah, like they did with Doom, and yeah, I guess so, yeah. You know, in PSP 2 Infinity, you know, they've got these crazy racial abilities they can use, and it's just all gone in PSO2. I get why they don't have that in PSO2, because they need parity among all the different races. Because otherwise everyone would just pick Human. Because the kind of game PSO2 is, all the races kind of have to be the same. I know there's very slight stat differences between them, but it's tiny. Yeah, I guess Hugo was the first one, yeah. Really? Just thinking they could add their base form with that transformation. Yeah. It feels like a bit of a shame though, doesn't it? Adding Beast without the ability to use Nanoblast. It would probably complain a lot. I mean, to be fair though, I wonder how many people who play NGS now really know about Beasts, because, again, PSU is a very old game now. As much as it pains me to admit it. People also complain whenever NGS does anything. Yep. Yeah, you are not wrong. It's a shame, honestly, because I genuinely feel NGS is in a much better place now. It's never going to be my favourite Phantasy Star by any means, but I think it's in a much better place than it has been. Oh yeah, you get frozen all the time. I think one of your stats in PSU influences how likely status effects are to affect you. And I'm pretty sure Beasts have the lowest. Since you remember that being a problem. I can't remember if it's stamina or if that does something else. A few things it does pretty well. Only major gripe is that the combat isn't interesting. I think the combat has improved a little bit recently with the EX styles. I think that does help. I would like to see more tech customizations though. Frozen again. It kind of feels like with the tech and PA customizations that they did a couple and then kind of forgot it existed. Because there are some photon arts in the game I would love to see some customizations to. It is stamina, but I have mine capped and I still get frozen. Yeah, it would be cool to have the races be more distinctive again. I think the issue is like, how do you balance that in a game like PSO2? What is the name of the 6-star GRM longbow? I'm trying to recall memories from 20 years ago here. I honestly can't remember. Who remembers the low end weapons? No one. Oh, thanks for the follow, Yondala. Much appreciated. If anyone has any idea what the name of the 6-star GRM longbow is. Okay, so Dragonman is saying that they think it's Isluka. Tried Lumaz a few days ago, unless it's somehow Bogenshi. So we have one vote for Isluka. I mean, I know I could just go and look at the wiki, but nah. Should we go for Isluka then and see if it's right? Are you using the unit to prevent freeze? Yeah, I should probably use that. Well, Genshi's name makes me think of Yoma. Possibly. Maybe that's the Yoma 6-star? Maybe. Right. I'm going to commit to Isluka. Well done. Balance back in PSO Classic was good. Humans were squishy but good attacks. Casts were tough but couldn't attack. And humans were okay at everything. There are some issues with PSO balance. Namely humor. And Hugh Cast, to be honest. So humor, I feel, needs a lot more to be as competitive as the other classes. And Hugh Cast is busted beyond belief. Yeah, I could remember that that Lumaz was a GRM bow, but I couldn't remember what rank it was. Okay, I'm stuck here. Thank you. I do like in PSU that you can use solo atomizers on other people as well. It's nice. So what you're saying is that my next character should be HughCast. Basically, HughCast just has so much attack power. If you look at the attack power for the different hunters, I mean, you know, Hugh has decent attack power, but if you look at the difference between Hugh and HughCast, it's insane. And you obviously have stuff like freeze traps as well. And loads of health. The only real downside with them is the accuracy is a bit shaky, but you know, Blue Burst gives you a lot of options to get around that. People also forgot that Hunewell and Ramal are text at 20, which meant that you couldn't really fight back against them using Janzella. In battle mode, yeah. Yeah, honestly though, in battle mode, cool. Apparently someone's got a rare mission they want to do after this. Cool. Yeah, battle mode was really funny because there was some things you could do in battle mode that were just ridiculously broken. But if you had a high level force in battle mode, high level force in battle mode with Zonda, Because under auto targets, you could like snipe people from places you really shouldn't be able to snipe them from. Also, yeah, Force could just run over and do level 30 Jellin and Zala on you. Yeah, that's the thing, if you had really high levels under, you had ridiculous range, and you could just hit people, like... I'm pretty sure you could hit people that weren't in the same room as you. I know that because I used to battle against someone on PSO, like Sega Blue Burst, who used a full maul. And it was a nightmare trying to get anywhere near them. So that was who steals Ethan's clothes from him. I can't remember. How's this game for low levels, new people potentially starting out? So they have just added something fairly recently, regularly, which is things called level up quests. So there are quests that are designed for all level ranges that will gradually take you through the levels in the game. So, you know, they'll start out with a quest with level 1 enemies. Then you'll get one that has maybe level 5 enemies, then level 10 enemies, and it kind of takes you through the other levels. So they have made it a bit easier for sure for low level. Some mad nostalgia with this game back on Xbox 360. Yeah, obviously what we're playing here is like the super high-end stuff, but yeah, I think it's still reasonably friendly for low-level players. There's currently an event on as well at the minute until about, I think it's until about the 2nd of November, and then there's a boost period after that. So it's a pretty good time to play, honestly. I mean, currently there are 70 people online, which isn't bad, really. Don't remember the levels being that high. Might have stopped before the level cap reach. Remember, Psycho would be the best weapon. Yeah, so on the Western servers, we never got to the level cap. On the Sega servers, they shut the server down before we got there. I can't remember how high it got now. I want to say maybe 180 at most, maybe, but maybe not even that. Yeah, I do remember that we just never got the final level cap. Not on the Western side, anyway. Thing is, well, realistically, if you want to play PSU online, this is kind of one of your only options. In Ep 3, which chapter is Ambition's End? 5, apparently. I guess it's a good thing in a way that Sega got really stingy about keeping servers running, since they made so many bad financial decisions in the 90s. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they did keep some of the servers running for a long time. I mean, the Japanese PSO Blueburst server, that ran forever. I could be wrong on this, but I want to say the Japanese Blueburst server might have outlived Western PSU. Oh yeah, it always sucks for the fans, yeah, but I suppose, you know, the nature of games like this is that you know that at some point the servers are going to go down. It still sucks when it happens, of course, but... PSO Baby did come out pretty late compared to 1.2, yeah. They ended life around a year before PSO 2 came around, and PSU closed the day PSO 2 was either announced or released.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head, cause I have no fear. This probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery.
So I guess we'll do a rare mission now. Can we not do it for me? I guess we have to go to one of the actual lists for it. So, which one are we doing? I'm going to assume we're doing the Ruins, maybe? Fifth floor, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose because of how the rare missions work, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Sure that Sega's nonsense on cease and desist and private servers has a lot to do with when they decide to close those servers down too. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I do wonder if that's a reason why we haven't had much of PSO, because I guess while there's private servers going, Sega obviously know about the private servers, you know, they're not blind to it. I do wonder if they'll look at those and just think, is there really any point was doing this if there's a private server going already? Yeah, I never played on a private server on the console versions. First private one I played was on Blueburst. I mean, to be honest, Miss, yeah, I mean, it keeps interest in the game going, I guess, with Sega doing nothing. You know, Sega can just do absolutely nothing at all, and Affinity will just give publicity to PSO anywhere. They should team up with Private Server and make a revised official version of PSO Baby with Affinity inputs. That would be the dream. It would be really bad luck, wouldn't it, Dragon Man, yeah, to come down aggressively on a group of fans who just want to play an old game. Yeah, so we're just waiting for a couple of people to get here for something to do the rare mission. Maybe now that they're on Atlas, they'll stop cease and desisting Mega 10 online. I mean, obviously, I still want Sega to do something with Phantasy Star, of course I do, outside of NGS. But it's nice to know that the older games still have the fan support anywhere. First private server I played was Clementine. It was somewhat broken, but still fun to play. I think it's improved a lot, Clementine, recently. So we're just waiting on 2 people to find their way to the Guardian's colony. I mean, I did a video about private servers. You know, I do feel like they are genuinely generally a positive thing. The only exception I think is when they try to run, when they try to run a private server while official support's still going. That's not a good look, in my opinion, anyway. Clem's improved a lot from its early days. I mean, to be fair to the Clementine, I guess they basically had to more or less re-engineer the game. You know, they must have had to put an insane amount of work in to get this working. It's kind of funny how weak level 190 enemies feel. Do you have any opinions about Final Fantasy XI private servers despite the official game still running? It's hard for me to have much input on that because I've barely touched Final Fantasy XI. I suppose, generally I'm not a fan of private servers running at the same time as official, but I think it does, to an extent, depend on the state of the official version as well. So if the official version is in a really bad way and just doesn't run well at all or anything, then I can probably justify private servers a bit more. I think if there's a perfectly functional official version, then you should play the official version. Yeah, I get that vibe money, yeah. That's another way to look at it. Sega made the file encryption so much harder to get through for PSU than it was for PSOBB. What's missing from private servers like Clementine that wasn't live? The main thing that's missing is some of the story. So because of how PSU's story was done, Gerard Endurance, I've got no idea what that is, but I'll pick it up. Because of how PSU's story was done, basically the first episode of it was offline, where he plays Ethan. And then some of the later story was online only, so when the official servers got closed down, there was no way of doing, or no way of being able to see the story. And they haven't been able to, like, re-engineer the story. I think it is on YouTube, so if you want to see it, you can still watch it on YouTube, but that's probably the main thing that's missing. Apart from that, honestly, not much is missing. It seems we've got the majority of the game here. The only thing I'm not sure on is, do partner machines work as NPCs yet on Clementine or not? Because I know a while back when I tried it, it didn't work. They haven't fixed that yet. So that's one other thing as well then. MMORPG's got a trial precisely because of that. Yeah, I mean, I get it when people say that, you know, they're interested in playing a game, but they don't know if they're going to like it, so they use like a private server or something to test it out first. I get that. It's probably not something I would do personally, but I get why people do it. Using keyboard or controller? I use controller for PSU. I don't actually know what it's like to play on keyboard. I've never tried it on keyboard. I love these guys. I'll never get tired of these guys. I always feel bad killing them just because they dance when they spawn. Oh, cool, we got a black heart. I remember trying to find that in Sega servers. I remember it being very hard to find. It's fine if we can't use the PMs with us because they uncapped it, yeah. That's about this way, isn't it? Yes, it's leveling up, and you can, I guess with the partner machines, you can kind of level them up more than you could normally, so you can, there's no need to have multiple partner machines, I guess, which is really nice. To be fair, the partner machines weren't that useful anywhere in battle, for the most part. In Saga of Rhizome, you could progress any class up to level 125 with a free trial, 250's level cap. Then if you sub and let your sub run out, you can still play that character, you just stop gaining experience. That's a really good way of doing it, actually. There were only one or two that were decent PMs for battle, yeah. I think most of them were just not really worth it. Probably a hard sell to get people to play Rhizome these days, though. I've never even heard of it, honestly. So I think I've probably got time for one more event room, maybe, so we can do that. started playing it when you had a MacBook because it was the only MMO available on Steam for Mac.
And we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got some.
Yeah, I haven't really played a whole lot of MMOs. Probably because I spent so much time in Phantasy Star games. I guess I can start this because we just won't be able to go in the fence until everyone gets here. It got killed by a WoW basically. Never went anywhere despite having great graphics and unique systems for the time. I think WoW was just so massive when it released. I think it just killed off a lot of things. Which is odd because it's never a game I've been interested in at all. Haven't played MMOs in a long while, but played the hell out of WoW. Yeah, I think when the game first launched, I tried it briefly, and it just wasn't for me at all. My brother got hugely into it, but yeah, it just never clicked with me. Never played another MMO because it killed a game you're interested in. Yeah, I think the only MMOs I really put any time into, played a little bit of Lineage 2, and again, that was only because my brother played it and kind of pulled me into it. I did play a lot of Guild Wars, but for some reason never played the expansions. I just kind of stopped playing after the original game. What else? I think I remember playing a little bit of City of Heroes. Again, never really got hugely into it. I think the issue for me was that I could never really commit too much time to an MMO because I just kept going back to PSO. Oh yeah, I did play Final Fantasy 14 a little bit as well. Mainly in 1.0. Yeah, City of Heroes was pretty fun, honestly. I mean, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with it. But it felt different enough at least. Yeah, FF14 was a weird one. Like, I'm not going to say 1.0 was a good game because it wasn't. But oddly, I don't know why, but for some reason, I think I preferred the combat in 1.0 to ARR. Well, that was because the classes I was playing, I'm not sure. I mean, I genuinely don't feel that 14 was like 1.0 was a terrible game. It wasn't great. How much attack power does the weapon Milan Knuckle have at 4 out of 4? That is so specific. You could probably sell your 1.0 card for a decent amount of money for people who want the tattoo. Took an educated guess, yeah. I guessed as much. Yeah, never played Champions Online. I remember it releasing, but never tried it. I love that little glitch in PSU. It's really funny when it happens. If you quickly switch weapon, sometimes your character will kind of moonwalk until the weapon model loads in. Yeah, I don't know what it was about Realm Reborn. I did try playing it when it released, but it just never resonated with me at all. And it's now at a point where there is so much in FF14 that I would need it'd be a second job to catch up. You have 125 characters in Champions Online, jeez. Oh, no worries, 8-bit. They don't let you buy any more character slots. I mean, I'm not surprised if you get over 125. Weapon Mortab Prophecy has how much tech at 3 out of 3? Hmm? Oh. Guess we'll never know. It's 931, okay. Yeah, I feel that for some of these questions, you literally would just have to have the wiki open. I think it's 911, okay. Yeah, I think the idea of this quest is kind of cool with the questions, but I kind of feel the questions are just way too oddly specific. It's like no one is going to know like how much attack something has at full grind unless they have that weapon at full grind or have the wiki open. Well, you made Grizz from Phantasy Star 4 in Champions Online, nice. Yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty interesting quest. I do kind of wish the music would switch up a little bit in it, because listening to this for the entire quest does get a bit old. Yeah, I know they only affect the reward boxes at the end, but I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't have hard questions. I think there should be some difficult questions, but I just feel that some of the ones they've chosen are just way too oddly specific. Like I said, to the point where you're probably going to have to load the wiki anywhere. And if you're loading the wiki, what's really the point in doing it? Which of these weapon types does not contain any B rank weapons? Twin claws, apparently. Really? I guess not. I love PSU, but I'm not an encyclopedia. A PSUpedia, if you will. Yeah, Dragonman, I feel if you're going to make Zeo in another game, you kind of need the shoulder pads. It's kind of the whole look. Zeo without the shoulder pads just wouldn't look right. It's really funny, like, Kurtz just dies immediately. By the way, the Sega Master System, specifically the Mark III, turned 40 on the 20th this month. Yeah, happy 40 to the Master System. Yeah, obviously Master System was the first console that Phantasy Star showed up on, so... You got an Axe gift box, nice. I'm just looking at the time. Maybe we've got time for one more. Yeah, we'll do one more. Twin servers, by the way. I wonder why it just says twin servers. I'm guessing it's something they must have just forgot to remove, I'm guessing. Interesting coincidence with one of the shipping waves for the TTRPG. It is crazy to think that the Master System is 40. And I think Phantasy Star is 40 in 2027, I think. And next year will be the, what, 20th anniversary of PSU? I think. I'm sure it was 2006 it released. Does not feel like 20 years at all, but I guess it is. Is Clem going to have an event for that? No idea. I mean, it would be a cool idea to have one. It was 2006. I remember playing it on day one. Yeah, I was day one as well, although I had to do it in a really roundabout way. So for reasons I don't really understand, the European release of PSU was later than the American release. So thankfully I had a friend who was in Canada, and they basically bought me the American, well, you know, North American version of PSU on PC, and then sent it to me. I did pay them for it. But yeah, for some reason, the EU release, I don't know if it was just delayed or if there's a problem with it, but for some reason, EU got it later. It was very weird. It was not Minsk, no. It was another Canadian friend. It's actually the guy who did the artwork that is the avatar for my channel. Yeah, a guy called Rubius. Used to play PSO and PSU a lot with him. I mean, I don't think it was massively later in Europe, but it was enough. I remember being pretty excited about PSU and Mission of the Luminous. Pretty sure I pre-ordered the first one at least. I do remember that, I don't know if it was the same around the world, but I know the version of PSU that I got came in like a really cheap cardboard box. Which did not survive the trip to the UK very well at all. Ambition of the Illuminous came in a proper case, but for some reason, base game PSU was just in a really cheap and nasty cardboard box. The fans speak of foregone days and all the MMOs that we've been through that couldn't fill the hole that this game left. I imagine a lot of people probably got into PSU through the Xbox 360 demo, honestly. I think that did a lot for the game. It was honestly a really good idea that Sega had. PSU on 360 came in the regular box standard green case. Yeah, I don't even have the box for my PSU anymore because it, like I say, just did not survive the transit at all. I do still have my copy of Illuminous though. I don't know why, because I can't do anything with it. But it's there. You've still got your Xbox 360 PSU, oh nice. It's like, are you really a fan if you don't keep hold of your Phantasy Star games that you can't possibly play at all anymore? Yes, same miss. I still have my Xbox 360 as well, so yeah, I guess you could play like story mode or extra mode, but I mean, I don't know why you want to. Unless you had a real hankering to play Ethan. I mean, I know extra mode you can make your own character, but there was next to nothing to extra mode. It kind of felt tacked on. Yeah, my Xbox 360 is just there, yeah. It did have to get repaired once. Like pretty much all Xbox 360s, I think. Yeah, so mine didn't red ring. So what mine did was... Just get my equip sword. Yeah, what mine did was... It wouldn't boot, or it would try to boot and then just turn off again. And I would get a red light on the front of it, but it wasn't the... Because the red ring was like 3 red segments, wasn't it? Mine was just like 1. But yeah, I remember sending it back to Microsoft though, and they just replaced like the entire main board. Yeah, it was the same for me. Yeah, sent it off to... I'm pretty sure Mama's Germany as well. You just sent it off to them, and then they just repaired it and sent it back to you for free. So can you imagine that now? And maybe some consoles you can still do that with, but since they repaired it, it's been fine. Not that I really play it much, obviously, but you have almost every physical release of PSU just missing a few European language incarnations because most just cost a few pounds. Also because I'm sad. But you said that, not me. What is the owner's full name at Gowig's pub? I have no idea. The middle one, apparently. I didn't know you had a surname in game. Yeah, I think the middle one was Vorpa. I had no idea that Gowik even had a surname. I mean, of course he has a surname, but I just didn't know it was ever written in the game anywhere. Still have copies of PSO episode 1, 2, and 3 despite no longer having a GameCube. Yeah, I do still have my GameCube, thankfully. Recently got a flippy drive for it, so I've been able to back up all my memory cards as well. So I've managed to save all my old PSO GameCube characters, which is very nice. So I don't even care about using it to play other games. I literally got it just so I could back stuff up. Might have been something really obscure knowledge about Garrick's name, maybe in a book or something. Maybe. I certainly don't remember seeing it anywhere, but I'm not saying it wasn't in the game. Twin Sabers. I don't know why that pops up, but it's really funny.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my little speed. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably end there. But first, before we do, I think, did we get any boxes to open? We do have a Knuckle gift box to open, so I guess I'll go and open that first, and we'll see. You got a Lion Shield box and Twin Ruby Bullet, nice. Right, let's see what we get. So, Knuckle gift box, let's go. Rocket Punch U+, nice. I mean, it's something. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but... You got Ankh Zagza U+. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think we'll probably call it there for today, I think. So, just a reminder, so on Tuesday, there'll be a video going live for members, which will be the Phantasy Star 4 impressions. There'll be a stream on Sunday. I'm not entirely sure which game it's going to be yet, because it's going to depend on whether Affinia start their Halloween event or not. If they do, we'll do PSO. If they don't, we'll probably pick another Phantasy Star to play instead. Maybe PSO 2, because I haven't done that for a while. Then next week, there will be a Wednesday stream. But the Saturday is when I go to Japan, so we've basically got Sunday stream and Wednesday stream, and then after that I'll be away for 2 weeks. I will remind you close at the time, just so people know when I'm going. Just checked and I now have 72 different physical Phantasy Star games across all formats and languages. Jesus. But yeah, we will call it F today. Yeah, let's get a bit of dancing, why not? So, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good week. I will see you guys on Sunday for another stream. If you have enjoyed, please consider either liking, subscribing, the usual. Join as a member if you want to. Follow on X and Bluesky, or join the Discord if you want to as well. But yeah, whatever you're doing, have a good week, and I'll see you on Sunday. See you guys.